Seems like no matter what you do sometimes, your efforts go underappreciated or unappreciated, period. You know, all we do, man, is try to give men the information they need to become the best version of themselves. No hate. We love women. We don't hate them. We just don't take no foolishness. And we can't be controlled by our lust. Those men can, but not us.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Now I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her and convince yourself that she brings more value to your life than you bring to hers. You know, just the protection and provision is more than a woman can ever make up for, man. So I'm not saying don't give her props for what she does, but damn sure never make her feel like she's more important to you than you are to her, because it's just a figment of your imagination. She knows the truth, so you have to understand the truth as well. This is called the abundance mindset. There's nothing she can give you that you can't give yourself, besides a baby. And do you really want one of those right now? Nope.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
You see, the main thing that men let women slide with is shut-upness and obedience. Now, when you use the term obedience with a woman, she automatically relates that to being a slave. But slaves aren't obedient. Obedience is a choice. Slaves either do it or die. Shut-upness is another thing that women have a problem with. It doesn't mean you can't talk. It means that you can't talk when I'm talking. It means that when we're talking about things that I do as the man, you don't have an opinion on those things, because I make decisions based on facts, not opinions, not even my own opinions, and most certainly not yours.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Teflon, you a fool for this one.
This beat got Teflon on it.
It's for all my homies out here getting to the money, dealing with haters. Yeah.
I'm the alpha done, dotted I. Little life ain't even gotta try. I just do, and I'm just trying to get my M's up until the motherfuckers build up and make moves. I don't fuck with them new niggas. I just ride solo or kick it with my crew, and I don't fuck with them randoms if she ain't really got a hand on what I do. And I know that you know that your bra wanna get with me, and you mad, but don't hate the player of the game, cause she said she ain't have a man. When I ask, man, I'm just trying to live a long life, long money, long beard, and give my bitches long wood. But haters don't wanna see you shine when they still trapped in the darkness, but it's all good. Funny how haters don't hate till you come up. They show you mad love, and then they start hating soon as you come up. Hard to be happy for you when their life sucks. They see you shining, and it reminds them they ain't grinding. I recall once upon a time when a hater said that it wouldn't work. I couldn't stop, but the same lames complained about how a nigga changed up on them. Now that I'm on top, when you're down on bottom, everybody is your friend, but they turn to frenemies when you rise up. Keep your chest out, head held high, blessings fall from above, so you better keep your eyes up.
Welcome to the Alphasphere, the only place on the planet that's totally engulfed in positivity and totally submerged in alpha energy. I'm your host, Dr. BOA.
Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Dying to become the most alpha version of you. Striving to become the most alpha version of you. Fighting to become the most alpha version of you. Welcome to the alphasphere. Get money division. The place where you transform into a man on a mission. Learning to not feel guilty about selfish decisions. You and your best self would be on a head-on collision. You will not be stopped by obstacles that's dropped by those who wanna see you fall, cause more wanna see you fall. You will be so focused, you won't get no peace at all, till you go from mud feet to walking on streets of gold. Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Dying to become the most alpha version of you. Striving to become the most alpha version of you. Fighting to become the most alpha version of you. Dr. B.O.A., the utmost alpha surgeon, helping you to become your most alpha version. Old and new you, this is where they will be merging. Get money today, so later you'll be spurging. Tell them haters you do not care what they say about you. Just meant to live out to make them live without you. When your vision sprouts to living it from chasing it. When they say your name, just make sure they put some bass on it. Trying to become the most alpha version of you. Dying to become the most alpha version of you. Striving to become the most alpha version of you. Fighting to become the most alpha version of you.
Salute, salute, salute. Dr. BOA in the building, man. Back with something late night, man. You know, we don't normally do it like this, man. But I said, you know what? Let's do a little bit something different tonight, man. Because I gotta hit the road in the morning, man. And head and finish up the... Shit, I done hit the flow, man. Don't worry about it. I gotta hit... Let me unplug it right quick. Gotta head to the studio, man. And finish up the main project. You know, the mixtape is done. Got to go finish up Pimp Motivation 101, and we'll do that, man. Tomorrow, man. I spent a couple of days in the lab doing that. That was my my backlight, man, to keep that shadow off the wall back there. But we'll deal with the shadow. So anyway, homies, I appreciate everybody being in the building. Famo, I see you, man. Markel, what's up, man? BA, I see you, man. Skull, what up, man? What up? B Ross, I see you, man. Lord Cotton, what up? Adam Sanders, Mr. O. June Yo, what up? Cool J, Fear the None, what up, homies? Remy, appreciate the $20 super chat, homie. Salute Dr. Bill and Alice, feel ready for the A1 knowledge. Salute to you, bro. With Say, what's up, man? Chris, what up? Jeremy Jane, what up? J2. Diverse Conscious, what's good, man? What's good? It's Wavy, baby. What's good, man? It's Wave, baby. What's up, man? Real nice. The Dizzle, what's good? Travis Moon, I see you. MPI, what's good, homies? Ishmael, what up, homie? Advanced 6. Another nutty cat, man. Treasy, what's good, man? T. Robinson, Mr. Slab, what up, homie? Rasho, I see you, homie. Hellion, what's good? Iman Perry, what up, EP? Financial Leaf, what up, what up? Raymond Smith, I see you, man. Prince Daramolo, what's good, man? Guapo, I see you. D. Brown, what up, what up? G, what's happening, man? Alright, man. Treasy, appreciate the super chat, homie. Thanks for the late live. Salute, Doc. Salute to you, bro. Salute. You know, we normally don't come in this late, man, but we're going to go ahead and do something, man, because after the premiere earlier today, man, and I appreciate all y'all for showing up for that premiere, man. It was pretty top-notch, man. You know, for a premiere, man, we had about almost 12, right at 1,200 people in there in the premiere, man. I think that was pretty cool. But I wanted to come in here, man, and further expound on that topic and really, dive into some of the things, some of the demands that we have on women. And the thing is, we're not like other men. We place demands on women that we reward them for meeting. You understand what I'm saying? We reward women for meeting the demands that we want them to meet. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we do. And I think a lot of the times guys are unaware of that fact that we're not these guys that are just going to act as if a woman should do these things and just do them just to do them. No, there's a reward for her doing these things. There's a reward for a woman being the type of man, being the type of woman that we want her to be. There's a reward for that. The same way for us. There's the type of man. There's a reward for us being the type of man that God wants us to be, and also that we want ourselves to be. There's a reward for all of that. You know what I'm saying? And there's a reward for these things. So, of course, man, I had to go ahead and do it. Well, I don't guess we had too many trolls in here. I'm gonna tell you now, man. If the trolling get deep, man, I'm closing the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and do an open chat tonight, man. Nah, I said I was. I said I wasn't gonna do them open chats, man. So I ain't doing them open chats, man. I did an open chat earlier today, man, and Cass was acting doggone fool, man. So had to do it, man. Had to do it. So here's the thing, man. There are 10 demands that we place on women. Other men don't even think of these demands because all they want to do is get laid. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to get paid. They just want to get laid. And y'all be looking forward, man. Me and AMS, man, we recorded a piece of content, a collab, earlier this evening, man, and we'll both. He'll put it up on his channel, and I'll drop you guys some jewels out of it, man. And we really had a good chop up, man. So, but here's some things that we demand from women, and I think the real issue is that women don't know the things we expect from them because they're so used to dealing with beta male simp manginas and other men who represent themselves as having this type of energy that we have, this alpha energy. But when the woman gets to meet them, they understand that they're just beta male simp manginas who are going to allow the woman to lead, and they're going to step and fetch and kowtow to the woman. And what we have to understand is that's not the way it's supposed to be. So what we're going to do is dive into these things. Now, we got a couple of elephants in the room. Laura Cotton, appreciate the $5 super chat tuition. Salute to you, bro. Famo, what's good? So we got a couple of elephants in the room that we're going to cover first. You understand what I'm saying? The first elephant is, for us, a woman has to be childless, which means she has to be devoid of little ones who are relying on her for their care, support, and love. This is one that women are not going to be able to get past. And here's the thing. I'm not saying women with children are bad women. I'm never going to say that women with children are bad women. What I am going to say is women with children don't have what it takes to meet the other things on this list. So when I say a woman has to be childless, it's not just because of the burden of having a child or what we consider baggage of having a child. It's the fact that having a child or children keeps you from being able to complete this list. No woman with a child can complete this list. That's the thing. If you want a high quality, high caliber man who got his money right, got his mind right, got his spirit right, got his body right, got everything together, or at the very least got everything almost together. I mean, right on the cusp of having everything together, then these are some of the things that you're going to have to understand. And I mean, we're not going to compromise these things. We are not going to compromise these things. The first elephant was you got to be childless for obvious reasons. The second elephant is you got to be single for real. See what I'm saying? You got to be single for real. You can't have this roster of guys. Because here's the thing. If you have a roster of guys, then you're too available. You're too accessible. Anything that's available to me and accessible to me, it should be very hard to get to that thing. Not many men should be able to access what I access because not many men are me. You understand? Not many men are on my level. Not many men are who I am or built how I am, made up of what I'm made up of. So if you got a roster of men, then you're just too accessible. Because here's the thing, you're not going to have a roster of the same type of men. So let's say you got 4 men that you're dealing with. You're dealing with 4 different types of men. There's 4 different types of men who have access to you. You're a woman who the only thing separating you from the average thought is the fact that it may not be separating you, but the only thing that would separate you is the average thought is interacting sexually with all of those men. You may not be. But the opportunity, a lot of times when a woman has a roster of men, the only thing keeping her from being sexually involved with all of those men at the same time is opportunity and chance. You understand? If chance and opportunity presents itself, then each and every one of those men could have an intimate relationship with that woman. And that's just real. So being childish and being single for real, those are the things. Okay. Another thing we want you to be is at least looking like you care about your body. At least live a life like you care about your body. See, if I come into your life and you care about your body and you care about the things you eat and you care about that, I can pull the loose ends in for you. I can pull the loose ends together for you. But if you're a woman that don't even care, here's the thing. If you don't care about your body as a woman, then you're not going to look good. I mean, you're not going to have an attractive body. That's just the bottom of it. And here's the thing. You're delusional if you think that you're going to be able to get a high quality man, an alpha king, if you don't take care of your body. Yes, we don't put physicality. It's not even at the top of our list, but it's very high up on our list. It's top 3. So in those other 2 things, let's say physicality is 3rd. Those other 2 things can't negate physicality. That's just 3rd in the ranking. Physicality is 2. 1 and 3 can't negate physicality. We have physicality requirements. We have requirements for your physical appearance. That's just the bottom line. And it's not even necessarily about comparing you to an idea of beauty that's prevalent in society right now, because we know that idea of beauty is based on a couple of different factors that don't even go together perfectly. So if a woman is to apply all of the recommendations for beauty in this society to a life, man, she gonna look crazy out there. She gonna look crazy out there. So we're not even talking about that. Now let's get into these 10 things that we require from women, because we deserve these things, but we do reward women well for being able to deliver on these things. The first thing is unselfishness. Like, we require you to be unselfish. What do I mean by unselfish? Meaning that the world doesn't revolve around you. Everything doesn't have to lead back to some benefit for you. With a selfish person, with a selfish woman, everything has to lead back to something that serves a benefit to you. And here's the thing. You have to be unselfish because we're selfish. You can't have 2 selfish people. We're selfish. But here's the thing about it. Before a woman says, well, you're selfish, you don't want me to be selfish, shut up and listen. You are designed to be giving. You are designed to be loving. You are designed to be caring. You were designed to be sharing. We were designed to be possessive. We were designed to embrace ownership. We were designed to take what we want and keep it for ourselves and our loved ones. That's how we were designed. So yes, as men, we are selfish by nature, and as alpha kings, we embrace that aspect of ourselves. We don't try to be these guys who you got to give and give and give and give and love and love and love and love and all. We don't live that way. That's not the reality of the world we live in. It doesn't benefit a man to be that way. It never has. It never will. Even if you want to talk about Jesus, okay, he was giving, he was loving, he was caring. That man, they hung him on the cross and nailed his hands and feet to the cross, man. I don't want that. You understand what I'm saying? So unselfishness is the main thing, because we're selfish. It's gonna be my way or no way. Any man in the alpha sphere is going to be his way or no way. And as a woman, you have to accept the fact that if you're going to have an alpha king, it's going to be his way or no way. There's nothing you could do about it. There's no way you could fix it. It's going to be his way or no way. But here's the thing about it. It's going to be my way or no way, but my way is always going to consider your morale. You understand what I'm saying? It's like employee morale. My way is always going to consider your morale. So I'm not going to purposely do something that destroys your employee morale. And why do I call you an employee? Because this life is my business and you are an employee of my business. You work for my life, but you have an opportunity to be my prized employee. You have an opportunity to be my employee of the month every month. You have an opportunity to be my employee of the year. You have an opportunity to go from the mailroom to the corner office. Like, your opportunity for advancement are based on how hard you work in the business that is my life. So I'm not going to use you and have you doing all these things and then they serve no benefit to you. The second thing that we demand, dedication. This is why you got to be childless. A woman with a child can't be dedicated to her man. You can't. A woman with a child cannot be dedicated to the endeavors of a man because that child is going to come first in that woman's life. And rightfully so. That's a sign of a good mother. If a child comes first, that's motherly instinct. You understand? Maternal instinct makes a mother put her child first. That's why a female grizzly bear will run up and scrap. I'm talking about scrap to the death with a full-grown male if he's trying to come at her cubs. To the point where the male doesn't even want that fight. Most times, the male don't want that fight. He'll just go find easier pickings. So if you got a child to care for, a child to take care of, a child to be concerned about, then you can't do the things that I need you to do as far as you proving that you deserve to be in my life. Because here's the thing with us. You can be in my life, but you have to prove that you deserve to be there. You're not going to be there just because you're a woman. And you're never going to be in my life because of whatever you accomplished before I met you. So all of your credentials and all of your degrees and all of your accomplishments, all of those things don't matter to me. The only way they matter to me is the way they can benefit the process of my progress. Everything else, it just doesn't matter. I don't care about any of that stuff. Your ability to earn your position in my life, whatever that position is going to be, starts when we meet. You start earning it from there. There's nothing you can pull up from the past and I'm going to say, well, you know what? That's a good thing you did in the past. Let's negate these things that I want over here. I'll just let that count for that. No, it can't be that way. Because technically speaking, I don't know if you did those things well, and I frankly don't know if you did them at all, to be honest with you. And I don't know you well enough to be taking your word on those things. So that dedication is major, man, because the only people we let into our lives are people we can trust enough to let them in our lives. We don't just go around letting people in our lives all willy-nilly. That's not the sign of an alpha king. We have too much to lose. Energy-wise, we have too much to lose. The wrong person can, with the wrong energy, can come in and change our lives tremendously, man. Let me catch these couple super chats, man. Might not be but one. G Mac 2, appreciate the $5 super chat. What's good, Doc? Got to run in the morning. Will this be uploaded? We'll see. We'll see, man. More than likely. Tef, what's good, homie? I might be the only one. I got one more. FM Chico. Appreciate the $10 super chat, man. My ex once said I'm more excited to be a mom, not necessarily a wife. I knew then it was time to bounce. You know what, bro? Here's the thing. The majority of women are more excited to be a mom than to be a wife. Matter of fact, all women are more excited. If a woman wants to be a mom, she's more excited about being a mom than she is about being a wife. And a woman will only want to be a wife so she can be a mother the quote unquote right way. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women, you're gonna be hard pressed to find a woman who wants to be a mother who doesn't value being a mother over being a wife. You know, that's just how it is, bro. We got to accept that. Armando, appreciate the $5 super chat. Had to take my 15-minute break to catch this one. Salute to Alpha Sphere. Alpha's up, betas down. Real talk, bro. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you spending that break in here with us. Another thing that we demand is shut up in this. And I'm always, whenever I make a list like this, shut up in this is always going to be on that list. Shut uppiness is going to be on that list each and every time. Why? Because it has to be. It has to be. There's nothing else. It has to be on this list because this is one you have to keep reiterating. This is the one you have to keep putting in a woman's life because her mouth many times gets her into trouble. Her mouth is the beginning of her trouble. So with shut uppiness, you have to understand that you are not going to be a big talker when you're around an alpha king. We spend too much time in our thoughts. We spend too much time plotting our next move. We spend too much time thinking about our endeavors. We spend too much time thinking about our results, thinking about how to improve our results, thinking about how to manipulate our results. We spend too much time in our own heads, and we don't need you constantly interrupting with your words that aren't really going to be about anything important most times. Your words are just not going to be about anything important most times. And also, a woman, when a woman disrespects a man, is always verbally. So the less you talk, the less likely you are to say the wrong thing and get yourself in trouble. So just keep them lips to yourself, man. I'm not saying you can't ever talk, but you'll know when to talk. Interrupting an alpha king is the worst thing you could do. When I'm talking, don't interrupt me. We're gonna have a problem. Like I will cut you loose for that. Like don't interrupt me when I'm talking. Even it don't matter if you don't like what I'm saying. There's a lot of time you ain't gonna like what I'm saying, but don't interrupt me when I'm talking. Got that trilogy today, man. Got that trilogy. Let's see if it's gonna show up. Yeah, that's that Sony autofocus right there, man. Got that synergy. Raw kombucha. Got the trilogy, man. That trilogy top notch. Let's see how fast it pulled me back in. 1, 2. It's that Sony autofocus right there, man. So even if you don't like what I'm saying, you're gonna have to not talk while I'm talking. I'm not gonna accept you trying to overtalk me. I'm not gonna accept you interrupting me. I'm not gonna accept any of that. And here's the thing, I'm not gonna interrupt you either because when it's your turn to talk, I'm gonna let you talk. But if you jump in and interrupt me, you don't get no turn to talk. Then you just gotta be quiet and just listen. You can't even respond at that point. See, what a woman has to understand that if you're gonna be with an alpha king, he is gonna be in charge. He's going to be in charge. I'm talking in every way, not just in the ways you want, not just in the ways you're okay with. He's going to be in charge. Period. Any man who can't be in charge, any man who can't pay the... See, here's the thing about it. If you can't pay the cost to be the boss, then you're not going to be in charge. You don't deserve to be in charge because if you don't pay the cost to be the boss in your own life, you're not in charge. You're not in charge if you don't pay the cost to be the boss in your own life. You can't be. You're just not. No matter what anyone says, if you don't pay the cost to be the boss in your own life, then you can't pay the cost to be the boss with a woman in your life because, you can't just turn it on. That's why I tell men, build yourself into the most alpha version of yourself. Build yourself into the best version of yourself. Build yourself into the alpha king, and then you can control your interactions with the people you interact with. You can control the people that you interact with, especially the women. See, I'm going to tell you the problem. A lot of men that women meet can do this when they're not with the woman. But once their emotions get involved or they have this connection with the woman or they get, they get whooped on the punani, man, then they can't do this anymore. And what women have to understand is it's never going to happen with an alpha king. He's always going to be in control. So you as a woman have to wrap your mind around the concept that you're going to have to do this next thing because this man is always going to be in control. What's this next thing? What does a woman have to do if the man is always going to be in control? Obey. Obedience. Obedience. I ain't no dog. Now you ain't no dog, but you act like a child. So you're going to have to be obedient because when I tell you to do something, I want it done. Period. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to mistreat you. I'm not going to verbally or physically abuse you or none of that. But when I want something done, I want it done. So if I tell you, hey, shout to do this right here, I don't want to hear no back talk. I don't want to hear you need no explanation. I just can't do it. You got to tell me why I'm doing it. Okay, you can go on that way then. I do it myself. See, what a woman has to understand is that I'm going to tell you the ways to earn your position, to earn your spot. You understand? To earn my affection, to earn my interest, to earn all of these things. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. The thing is, you have to do it, because if you don't do it, it's a wrap. You don't get no second chances on things like this. You don't get no second chances on things like this. I'll put you on ice. You know what I'm saying? Up to the point now, man, I don't even have non-permanent ice. I don't have temporary ice anymore. You understand? All the opportunities I'm going to give a woman going to come before I put on ice. Once I put on ice, it's over, man. You understand? I bring too much value to a woman's life. And that's the thing about the alpha king. We bring too much value to a woman's life to ever compromise any of these things. And the woman who can't or isn't willing to do these things, then she just doesn't deserve to be in the presence, company, life of an alpha king, man. And a bunch of women you come across are not going to deserve that. That's just the reality of it. We can talk about it and act like, it's this big deal and well, that's wrong. BOA, you can't control the woman. And I be hearing guys talk about, if you try to control the woman, it's not about controlling the woman. It's about controlling your environment. And so when a woman comes into your environment, she instantly falls under the control that you have over your environment. You see what I'm saying? The problem with guys who say you can't control the woman, they have a scallywag in their lives. And of course, you can't control a scallywag. I don't care. When a scallywag comes into your environment, you still can't control it. A scallywag is like a wild stallion. It's like a wild horse. You can go out there and try to put a saddle on it. That boy gonna buck, man, till he kick you in the face. You understand what I'm saying? A wild horse is not like those horses out there in the barn, man. It ain't the same thing. So what you have to understand is that you are going to control your life. And if a woman comes into it, so if you control your life and a woman comes into it, what part of it is she going to control? Well, you just going to relinquish control to her? Help me understand that. Help me understand how you're just going to relinquish control to a woman because she comes into your life. No, you're not. You're going to control your life. She comes into it. All she has is the things that you already control. So if she's going to be in your life, she's instantly going to fall under your control. See, not controlling women is beta. It's simping. If you don't control your woman, she's gonna be wild. She's gonna wild out. I'm telling you. That's why guys have to. If you don't believe in controlling your woman, then you're gonna probably end up being in some crazy some swingers, or you're gonna be in a open relationship, or you're gonna have a woman that's got a roster or something like that. If you don't believe in controlling women, because here's the thing: you can't control every woman, but a woman who can't be controlled shouldn't have a man in the first place. She shouldn't even be in your life. There are some women who are okay with falling under the control of a man, but here's the thing: you can't just say, "Hey, I'm going to control you." There is an energy that we have. There is an energy that we have as alpha kings that makes a woman feel like we are the type of man that she should bow down to, submit, and follow our lead. That's just what it is. But then there are other things on this list that woman doesn't fulfill. It's a very tedious task being with an alpha king, but it's the most rewarding relationship a woman could ever have. A woman can't have a more rewarding relationship than a relationship with an alpha king. It's different from anything she's ever experienced. So, another thing that a woman must have, and this is the toughest thing for a woman to have, but this is one of the things that alpha kings demand the most. A woman has to have a realistic outlook on life. By life, I mean herself, her past, her future plans, her beauty, her everything. She has to have a realistic outlook on it, because if not, alpha king not finna deal with a woman that's living in a fantasy world. We live in the real world. If she lives in a fantasy world, then she's going to constantly be at odds with what we've set aside as the mission for this journey. And we just can't have that. We can't have a woman who's going to do that. A woman must be willing and able and ready to buy into the process of our progress. And a woman who doesn't have a realistic outlook, she's not going to be realistic. You can't meet a woman who, let's say you meet a woman and she's got everything else. She may need to lose about 10 or 15 pounds. She's not going to do that if she's not realistic about the fact that she needs to lose 10 or 15 pounds. And the one thing you can't do, you can't convince a woman of something that she has already set in her mind is not the truth. You can't convince a woman that she's overweight if she doesn't believe she is. If she believes she's thick, you can't convince her she's beyond thick. She's not gonna believe it. She gonna think you're a hater. She gonna think something else. She gonna think you're just lying to her. She gonna think you're just trying to be hard on her. But she ain't gonna believe that. Let me see, man, what I got over here. Think just one. Mill J, appreciate the dime, man. Salute to the Alpha Kings, just now catching the live. How do I become a Patreon so I can have access to all content? D Flim's gonna put the link in there for you, man. Just click on it. Go there and read the tiers, man. You got to go to the higher tiers, man, if you want access to all the content, though. Appreciate the super chat, though, man. So another thing is this, man. When a woman has a realistic outlook, she understands that when she gets to a certain age, her options are going to be limited. She understands that if she has a child by another man, her options are going to be more limited. She understands that if she lets herself go and doesn't take care of herself, her options are going to be more limited. She understands that if she doesn't exhibit unselfishness, dedication, shut-upness, and obedience, then her options are going to be more limited. She understands that if she's fresh out of a marriage, then her options are going to be more limited. She understands that if she has a roster of men, she's only going to be able to get those type of men who are willing to be on a woman's roster. Her options are going to be very limited. That's a realistic outlook. That's a realistic outlook is, okay, this man ain't got no money, I'm gonna have a baby by him. That's an unrealistic outlook. You see what I'm saying? So she has to have that realistic outlook, man, because it's the only way to match our energy. It's the only way to match our outlook. She got to have a realistic outlook on life, man. If her past affected her, took her down through there, and she knows she needs some mental help, some emotional assistance, some behavioral health assistance, she better know. She better understand that that's a realistic outlook. If a woman knows that she prefers girls over boys or women over men, that's a realistic outlook to say, okay, I better say this to this man so he'll know this. You know what I'm saying? A realistic outlook is accepting the fact that your actions are going to have certain consequences and repercussions, and being real and, ready to accept those consequences. That's all a realistic outlook is. If I do this, that's going to happen. Realistic outlook. If I don't do that, that's going to happen. Realistic outlook. So with another thing about the realistic outlook, this is what that leads to. A woman with a realistic outlook accepts the fact that she don't know nothing that she didn't learn in a book. So she's willing to learn. There's a willingness to learn with a woman who has a realistic outlook. Like I met a woman, man, she said, I told her, what, Shawty, you'd be cold, man, if you lost about 15 pounds. She said, well, no, I'm already on the mission. I said, well, how long you been doing it? About 6 months. I said, well, you ain't lost 20 pounds yet? I said, no, I only lost, she said lost 10 or something like that. I said, Shawty, you don't know what you're doing. She said, well, I know what I'm doing. I got to train online. I watch YouTube videos. He ain't really my trainer, but I watch him like he my trainer and blah, 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 and whoop to whoop. And I was like, man, you know what? The woman don't have a willingness to learn. I said, look, Shawty, don't worry about that. I'm gonna show you what to do. I'm gonna help you with that. Well, blah, blah. A woman has to understand that she don't know, because, well, I know what I'm doing. Well, Shawty, if you know what you're doing, how come you ain't got that yet? You say you've been doing this 6 months. You ain't lost 10 pounds in 6 months. Come on, tell me something, Shawty. If you knew what to do, you'd be doing it already. How y'all about managing money? Well, I make a lot of money, but I like nice stuff. I like nice stuff. Well, how much money you got? Say how much you make a year? Well, I make 185. I said, well, how much you got left? How much you got saved right now? About 2,500. Well, how long you been making 185? Well, about 4 years. I like, wait a minute, Shawty. You've been making 185,000 for 4 years, and you only got 2,500 saved? Shawty, you don't know how to say. I gotta teach you how to save money. I already know how to save money. I already know how to invest. No, you don't. If you did, you did it by now. You'd have done it by now. But these are the type of things that we deal with out here as men. These are the types of things. These are types of things. She has to have a willingness to learn. If a woman can cook Okay, cool. You can cook. Well, I can cook. I cook. Well, what if you don't not cook nothing? I eat all that stuff you've been cooking for your family and all the people. I don't eat none of that. This is what I eat. You know how to cook this? Well, no, no. Well, you just cook. No, no. Okay, I'm gonna show you then. I'm gonna teach you how to cook for me. I'm gonna teach you what to cook for me. Teach you how to cook for me. I'm gonna be able to tell you. I'm gonna be able to set out a menu for you for the week, and you're gonna know what to prepare for me. Had to have a will. And here's the thing about willingness to learn. She has a willingness to learn when it comes to school, but when she's with a man, she don't have a willingness to learn. Because let me tell you something about women with educations. They believe because they know a lot about one thing that they could tell you something about other things. They think that that knowledge and information about one thing transfers to a bunch of other things, and they don't understand it doesn't. They don't understand that it just doesn't translate, doesn't transfer. That's not realistic. And what do we just say? She has to have a realistic outlook. Many of these women just don't have a realistic outlook on life. Like they think things that they shouldn't think because those things just couldn't possibly be true. Another thing she has to have: love of self. Why is a woman's love of self important? Because if a woman doesn't love herself, then she could never appreciate and embrace the things that you do, because she'll never be able to attach those things to her spirit energy. Those will just be things on the surface that make her feel better about the fact that she doesn't love herself. If a woman loves herself, then she loves the things around her, and she is more willing to embrace and accept any type of emotional exchange you bless her with. Any type of intimate exchange you bless her with. So a woman has to love herself. She has to love herself enough to not do things that damage her. She has to love herself enough to accept her hair the way God put it in her head. She has to love herself enough to not change a bunch of things about herself. She has to love herself enough to not sabotage her own relationship with an alpha king. You know how much a woman must hate herself to meet an alpha king and sabotage that relationship? Complete sabotage. And the thing about love of self, what does love of self lead to? Somebody put it in the chat. What does love of self lead to? Let me take a swig here. Kombucha. What does love of self lead to? Because when you love yourself, you embrace who you are. So what does love of self lead to? You have to embrace yourself in order to love yourself. Now from a woman, love of self, and this gonna be cold, man. Love of self creates an acceptance of female nature. See, we don't have to accept female nature. We just have to know it. A woman has to accept female nature. So you need a woman around you who's going to accept female nature. Why? Because it's going to tell her the truth about who she is. It's going to make her accept the fact about who she is. So she's going to understand that she's going to need to be unselfish and dedicated. And she's able to shut up and is in obedience and have a realistic outlook and the willingness to learn. I don't know what's going on. Love of self. She's going to have to accept female nature, which means she's going to have to accept the particular nuances of who she is. She's going to have to accept her propensity to be hypergamous. She's going to have to accept her propensity to do all the things that we talk about in this particular sector about female nature. A woman has to accept who she is. She has to accept who she is. And the only way to accept who she is to embrace female nature. It's her nature. She's a female. It's her nature. That's just what it is, man. We could talk about all these other things, but that's what we're dealing with on this particular topic. She has to accept who she is. She has to accept who she is. She can't upgrade who she is, for lack of a better way to put it. She can't become a better version of herself if she doesn't embrace who she is. So she has to accept that female nature is her calling card. It is who she is, what she represents, how she moves around the world, how she moves around her life. Another thing that we fully expect from a woman and will demand from a woman, that she either has to have healed or be in the process of healing from her emotional issues. You know how many women we meet, man, that have emotional issues? Probably all of them. Literally, probably all of them. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. It's crazy out here, man. But those emotional issues have to be healed. And here's the biggest one. Here's the biggest one. I should have put this at the front of the list. But here's the biggest one. Here's the biggest thing we expect, demand from women. Acceptance of the natural order of things. God, man, woman. A woman has to accept that. Any woman who thinks she's above men is not accepting the natural order of things. She must be gone. God, man, woman. She must accept the natural order of things. Otherwise, she's going to bring about a bunch of curses to your life. You understand? If you want to be in a blessed scenario in your life, you have to accept the natural order of things. And the natural order of things is that you, as a woman, were put here to serve, not be served. And that's the reality of the scenario. So, the 10 things that alpha kings demand from women because we deserve these things and we reward women well for giving these things: unselfishness, dedication, shut-uppiness, obedience, a realistic outlook, a willingness to learn, love of self, acceptance of her own female nature, healing of all emotional issues from the past, and acceptance of the natural order of things: God, man, woman. And that's really what we're talking about, man. Skull, appreciate the $5 super chat, bro. Appreciate the deep content. Juneteenth on the horizon. Looking out for the book as well. Salute to the atmosphere. Salute to you, Skull. Yeah, man, I'm pretty excited about the things too, man. I'm pretty crunk about it, bro. Real talk. Mill J, appreciate the dime, man. Salute to the African catching live. Oh, I already read that one. My bad, man. My bad. So I appreciate everybody being in the joint, man. You know, and here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. She has to understand this, and this is what keeps us out of relationships. This is why we're not in relationships, because women always want this, but we can't give it. She has to understand that she can get respect, she can get affection, she can get protection, she can get provision if she earns all of those things. She can get intimacy if she earns it. The one thing she cannot get, the one thing that she cannot get, and many relationships have failed because a woman has found out this, but if she accepts this, there's one heck of a reward for her if she accepts this. Flames, Famo, appreciate the super chat, man. Alpha's up for sure. No doubt, bro. The one thing she has to accept if she wants to be happy is that I don't love her. I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. We're going to go ahead and make our way out of here. You got to remember, y'all, I can lust you. I can like you. I can do a bunch of things. I can make you feel like a woman, make you feel important. But one thing I can't do is love you.
I don't love her, I don't love her, and I don't need her. I like to fuck her, that pussy good though, but I don't eat her. Never. She's my baby, she my baby though. When we get litty, we get lit, but she can't claim me. Don't claim me when she's not with me. When I'm gone, love to fuck her, cause she's so bad. Soft lips, thick thighs, wet, fat ass. She lives downtown, I don't go there. Fuck like savage, so she don't care.
care, she ride, dick like horse-drawn carriage. When she's with me, treat like marriage. Eat good, drink good, feel no danger. When I'm gone, I act like stranger. Animalistic, we go so hard. Hieroglyphics, scratches, bite marks, no commitment. Travel, take trips, key to her crib. Fall through, take dips, no key to mine. I don't play that. She may not like it, but she don't say that. If I decide I want one wife, she'll be my choice. I won't think twice.
Salute,
if
Tell.
I don't though, we'll keep living. I'll keep taking, she'll keep giving. I'll keep sharing, she'll keep caring. Fuck what they say, perfect
I
parent.
don't love her,
I don't love her.
and I don't need her. I like to fuck her,
That pussy good though.
but I don't eat her.
Never.
She's my baby,
She my baby though.
we get litty,
We get lit.
but she can't claim me
Don't claim me
when she's not with me.
when I'm gone.
I don't love her,
I don't love her.
and I don't need her. I like to fuck her,
That pussy good though.
but I don't eat her.
Never.
She's my baby,
She my baby though.
we get litty,
We get lit.
but she can't claim me
Don't claim me
when she's not with me.
when I'm gone.